attention. Watching you march by every morning sunrise. Same routine, same time. Never heard I love you.
Welcome in, everyone. This is episode 3 of Returning Citizen Central News, where we dive deep into the minds of change makers, storytellers, and innovators shaping the future. Today, we are lucky enough to be joined by a truly unique voice when it comes to civic engagement and immersive technology. Esteban Campos, also known as Steve Spot, the legal guy. Steve Spot is a creative force behind two very groundbreaking books that blend narrative, technology, and social impact in ways you've never seen before. He is also the founder of rccnops.org, Returning Citizen Central News Operations, a platform that's essentially redefining how we think about civic restoration and community driven decision making. We're also joined today by two board members. We've got Sharon Phoenix, as well as myself, Dawn. And we'll start off the podcast itself by talking a little bit about Steve's work and his books. But first, if this is your first time joining, let me give you a quick recap of what RCCN Ops is really all about. It is a nonprofit organization formed as a civic engagement platform designed solely to empower formerly incarcerated individuals, or what we like to refer to as returning citizens. And through immersive storytelling, community driven decision making, and restorative justice initiatives, it blends technology, narrative, and social impact to help rebuild lives and communities from the inside out. So, who is Steve Spot? Esteban. Tell me a little bit about Steve Spot.
Oh, well, thank you for the question. A little bit about Steve Spot. So, Steve Spot is a personal office technician. Uh, a personal office technician that is specific and technical and equitable, versatile, and equal work. That's Steve. And there's specific office technicians for prisoners, veterans, or anybody else that has access challenges. Access challenges meaning the common access challenges prisoners go through in California, for example, where emails are marginalized. You have obviously little access to messaging. Everything is cornerstone around rudimentary things like stamps, envelopes, where there's access challenges for deployed soldiers, um, if packages that are needed, um, anything that'll help bridge that gap for the most access challenged people, and happen to be the same demographics as the most at risk for, let's say, water. The quality of water is obviously by large scholarly data that the water at the most at-risk demographics is the hardest to get to. It's to potable water. For example, Liberia, second leading cause of death is diarrhea, and the diarrhea directly linked to diseases that are completely avoidable by potable water. So Steve's office technicians doesn't just stop within these local demographics. We want to engage really far out into the most access challenged and happen to be the most at risk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Steve Spot was created, and he was created in 2019 inside of the California prison walls. Um, And so, as a vehicle, what we're doing is returning citizens central news operations. And that's reconops.org. And that's the vehicle that we're going to use to bridge the gap between the most access challenged and here. So thank you for the question. I know that was a little bit long-winded and hopefully clipped with your magic. And last, before I turn it back over again, is I wanted to thank both Life to Living. That's where we're at right now, is the office space graciously afforded to us. And that's Sharon to my far left. Thank you so much for the space. And Queen's Landing, Dawn, could not do any of this out here. And when I say where I was last year, was in Soledad State Prison. And to say that we are an official nonprofit charitable organization as Returning Citizens Central News Operations, and the website, the links to all the charity organizations, the background of everything, the logistics to get here, the WhatsApp, the Gmail, the all of it, literally. Queen's Landing, specifically Dawn, the director, the everything, the spinal cord. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the shout out, and you've opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I otherwise wouldn't have been privy to. So it's always a pleasure. But let's use this as a quick caveat and hear from Sharon Phoenix, my new favorite person on the planet. What I would like for you to do is introduce yourself and tell us how you got here. We're gonna go in hot and heavy, keep it short and fast, and then we'll move on from there. I did get a statement from one of our other board members that I will read once we're done with the introduction of Miss Sharon, and then after that, we'll move on to get into the juicy stuff, the good stuff, the books and whatnot. So, without further ado, this is Sharon.
Thank you so much. And I got to recap. What a beautiful team. What a beautiful, I just got to say, what a beautiful and exciting new journey. RCCN seems to be just what I've been looking for. And because I am formerly incarcerated for 38 years and out here with the world that's moving and exciting, being around people that see eye to eye and want the same things is amazing. I work in reentry, and I love that new word coming from inmate to returning community member. And that makes all the difference in the world. So with Life to Living, I work with at-risk young women, and that is a challenge in itself because, as you know, we are women and we do fly high. However, dealing with reentry in itself, dealing with individuals that have to go through what we've been through inside and get out here and do our best and be our best, that's the journey. That's what makes it all worth the efforts. And I am so proud to be a member of this board and prepare myself to get on the grind and do what I have to do. Right. So with that being said, I'm going to cut it off and make it short and pass it back to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure having you be a part of this board. I can't wait to see what you do, really. And I've just been enjoying you myself this morning on the Natch for sure. But yeah, you guys, she's a light. She is a source for sure. I do have a quick statement from one of the other board members coming from young Miss Kiana Harris. Yeah, she's amazing. Let me find it here. Give me 1 second. Oops, sorry guys. Yes, Miss Kiana Harris. She is not just a black woman, she is a beautiful black woman. She is a mother of five. She is a creative nonfiction writer, abolitionist scholar, and life coach. Kiana currently serves on the board as our parliamentarian, and she has graciously rather accepted the role, and it's going to help us stay on top of making sure that our bylaws and our constitution reflect, both verbally and in action, what we're really here about. Outside of being a writer, Kiana was born in Watts and other parts of South Central Los Angeles, California. In her writing, Kiana explores conceptions of motherhood, familial relationships, and well being for Black women in the United States, focusing mostly on health disparities, relationships, and radical organizing for women connected to systems of mass incarcerations. Something that Sharon I know can speak on too, for sure. Kiana's debut memoir, Mainland Mama. Have either of you had the opportunity to start reading that book?
Have not, but it sounds like it's the coolest one ever.
How about you?
I have not.
Listen, I downloaded it as an ebook and I was sucked in from the first page. She is gifted, like seriously, on a literary level. And I look forward to listening to the rest of her book. It was published with Amistad Press back in February of 2025. She's also written for Salon.com and has a chapter in the anthology So We Can Know Writers of Color on Pregnancy. Okay. And on motherhood and surveillance, she's written something. Kiana is an inaugural recipient of the 2018-2019 PEN America Writing for Justice Fellowship, as well as the 2024 through 25 Haymarket Writing for Freedom Fellowship. She also received the 2021 Ten House Summer Writing Residency, the 2023 Baldwin Center for the Arts Residency. I think you all can hear and agree to the trend. You will not be surprised once you've had the luxury of reading her writing. Kiana also received her PhD. Okay, Dr. Harris from Arizona State University back in 2021. And she's currently a postdoctoral scholar in the Department of Health System and Population Health at the University of Washington. She's thrilled to be a partner with RCCN, because supporting incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people has been at the heart of her advocacy for many years. And joining the board is both an honor and a natural extension of her commitment to second chances, education, and the belief that everyone deserves a fresh start after release. Together, we stand firm in our conviction and that healing and education can truly transform lives and open doors to new possibilities. As I stated before, she's gifted, very much so. And Kiana, I thank you for sending me this statement. Happy to read it on your behalf. You're a beautiful human being, and it's a luxury for sure to have you be a part of the board. All right, so here comes the fun part, where we go back and we pick Steve Spot's brain again. I think it is safe to say that his work itself is a call to action. It inspires individuals to reclaim their voices and contribute meaningfully to societal transformation. So, up first, we've got Returning Citizens Central News Operations. It's being described as a civic rhythm and with a mythic framework. Can you unpack what that really means for our listeners?
Mythic framework, when it comes to the book, is Returning Citizen Central News Operations book that's available on Amazon, is also a calendar. It's our proving to people like uh, entities like Google, you know, any major technology company, is we're proving that we can utilize immersive technology for civic restoration. Um, and what I mean by immersive technology, we can just take it all the way back to the beginning and say, we're going to have a choose your own style platform through this calendar. We give a hashtag rubric that's available in the book. It's a calendar. It's every Friday you have a different meditative line. And eventually, through the days, you can pick whatever hashtag you would like. So for hashtag red ball is dedicate. And so you would write it down. What's your thought on this statement? And if it's to dedicate, if it's to advance, if it's to manipulate, if it's to destroy, these hashtags all represent your different style of choice on this statement that's provided to you on Fridays. And so when you go online, you can put in that hashtag and it takes us right to where everyone else went to when they read the book.
Right.
And you get to see how they interpreted this statement. What's really cool about this rudimentary immersive tool is that prisoners, soldiers that are deployed, anyone else who has access to the book would be able to share their thoughts on this exact same thing. And by doing this rudimentary book, we can prove to technology companies, hey, we can get the most access challenged people together on one thing. And if they're most access challenged, they purchase this book and they mail it to us, we will post everything that they put on there. They can contract to a Steve's personal office technician that can assist them with this. So when they purchase this book, they can mail it to a virtual mailbox, and I can see it via mail when it gets scanned in. And Returning Citizen Central News will post it for them, and you will be able to immerse with people that are in prison or deployed or wherever else there's access challenges. Now imagine that the technology companies say, okay, cool, you did it. Let's give you the technology now. Now what we can do is you can go inside prison with the safety of your own home and go to an art festival that prisoners put on. And you can purchase their art, and you can get that art mailed to you directly from that prisoner. What Returning Citizens Central News offers is that we would mail that to you and also provide you with technology-driven items that would be useful later when you get these technology devices. For example, not only would you get that real jewel, that real jewelry piece that you got from prison, that a prisoner made, but you would also receive a token when you go into your immersive technology lobby that you can trade as money. And the more rare it is, and it doesn't get much more rare to the most access challenged people, is you now have this super rare item in real life and in the immersive world. We see this road coming and we're getting ahead of it. And so with that, that's where we utilize immersive technology for civic restoration, because this doesn't just help, the economy. It helps people recover, rehabilitate. They're doing art, and then they're contributing to society still, while still with the barriers of a prison wall, or the large sea between deployments, or whatever else access challenges that come across with communications. So yeah, that's how we're going to prove that we can utilize immersive technology for civic restoration. And what's beautiful is that other people are going to have their own ideas about this,
right?
And it's going to flourish later.
So we've got choose your own adventure. We've got immersive technology. We have weekly planners, coloring pages. Sharon, did you have access to anything like this when you were incarcerated?
Heck no. When I first got out, they my friends wrote back to me and said, "We got these cool tablets." Now, mind you, I just got the tablet. When I got out, I got an Apple tablet. I'm still trying to figure out how to go around this thing. And they're telling me you can see me on they have those apps where we now can talk, and I thought that was awesome. Because you know how long it was to stand in the phone line, give up a couple of noodles, give, half your canteen to get up front. However, technology is moving so fast and so beautifully that we can now connect through the tablet inside the prison. And also, we've been able to do interviews inside the prison from the tablet, see their gospel fests from the tablet. So that technology is cutting edge. It really is, because now to be able to let them see this side is, you'll never understand how amazing that is for anyone that's inside the walls. You get in that line and you want to talk to someone on the phone and they're not there. You get on the tablet and I can see you on the phone. And that's amazing. So I say hats off to this project. I say hats off to, giving something else to individuals who are still in there. And that's still our family. Always will be. So great stuff.
Right. Cool. It's definitely an opportunity to help those that otherwise would feel and be physically disconnected from what's happening on the outside, quote unquote, while still giving them a sense of some normalcy, as much as you can have when you're serving your time. I have one more question for you regarding your book, and then I want us to backtrack a little bit and dig a little bit deeper into RCCN ops. You said a lot, actually, and all of it's very cool and forward thinking and exciting to hear you say, and even more cool to see it all play out. But how do you envision um, the your basic person interacting with your books beyond just reading it? Like, essentially, in the end result, what kind of impact or action are you hoping to inspire? He's thinking.
What kind of impact?
Is it too loaded?
Well, no, it's a wonderful question. But the impact, the undercurrent of it all, and not a lot of people, I don't talk about it a lot. So I really appreciate the opportunity to speak on it, because it is difficult to articulate, like in a book or like, just anything. But this might be the first and last time that I might say this, but water. water is the undercurrent for it. It's a universal right. It's a universal law, unarguable. It's not okay that people don't have it. It's not okay that children are dying from it at a disproportionate rate. And then I get to ask the question, we get to ask the question, if someone argues it, why are you arguing?
Right.
Where are your numbers at?
What doesn't make sense?
Where are you investing that you want to argue this point?
Okay, come on.
Water is life, literally.
There's cascading events. If we attack this contention with everything we got, that there's going to be cascading events that say, well, where else can we go? Oh, prison. Because the water's shit there.
Bad. Huh.
Flint, Michigan is not a unique situation. Liberia is not a unique situation. I think it's like less than 2% that's actual like fresh water in this world. It's in ice sheets, it's salt water before that. So it's pretty difficult to get to. But the impact, I want people to have a clear path to get to that point. And not all the information can be disseminated at the same time.
Right.
And so if we can prove it at this rudimentary level, and if you really follow those statements on Friday to contemplate on those, you might get the idea after a few seasons of what we're really talking about, the undercurrent of everything. Like I said before, this is a vehicle to get to something else. We need to bridge the gap from prisoner to re-entry services and soft landings. We need to have taxable dollars on them. As analytical as that may sound, or disconnected as that may sound, but that's the language. Let's all take a slice of this pie, and because this slice is going to grow when you take it. So if numbers is what the state's looking for, all right, we got an acronym for you. It's a return on investment. That's your acronym, all right? That's the state stuff. But what we're saying is that let's give me my drivers. Give me my drivers, give me my contractors so I can go deliver this potable water. And so let me take this slice. You take this slice, and let's everybody else, everyone else is allowed at this table. Everyone.
Right.
So take this slice and it'll grow, but give us the opportunity to deliver this water. And this vehicle, this cornerstone, is how to use immersive technology for civic restoration. Trust us that we're going to restore civic by our duty.
Right.
But that's what my impact is. Again, long-winded, but this might be the first and last time. It's difficult to articulate in a book or.
It is. It has a lot of layers, but each layer is so important and integral to the next one.
Yes.
That I think we all can see that for sure. And not to hand you loaded question after loaded question, but how do you see RCC and Ops evolving in the next few years? Like, are there any upcoming projects or expansions you're super excited about?
And no, thank you again for the opportunity for, so we're excited about our partnership with TechCU Bank, Credit Bank. They did a thorough background check on our nonprofit. We provided all the necessary paperwork, and that was a huge part after being incorporated. And so we're really excited to partner with them. They're very, they're available to us. They have given us a ton of resources already. And we look forward to that. So with that being said, is that we are forward thinking in vehicles and property, and we're moving aggressively towards purchasing those things. We have Sacramento Vocational House, which is in downtown Sacramento. It's in a great location, and right now prisoners can actually go there to get trained for various things
Nice.
of like handiwork to HVAC to right now we're partnering with trucking companies to do truck training. There's other nonprofits that are way more experienced than us that we're flying under, and they give a ton of great advice. We're veteran driven, so that's we're in great communication with Veterans Healing Veterans from the Inside Out.
Yep.
The director of Next Step Reentry, he Thompson, Isaiah Thompson.
There you go.
Yes,
I
thank you.
forgot to.
Isaiah Thompson. We partner with him with the prison. He's really active going inside and outside of the prison. Every Tuesday he goes host the Veterans Healing Veteran from the Inside Out at Soledad. Really dedicated guy. Prior military. Shout out to hey buddy. Isaiah Rangers. Really good dude. I'll let him tell the story later, but he's got a good one. So we're actually partnering with him for the spring event. Hashtag Civic Restoration Rumble.
Right. Talk about that.
Okay.
I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised at what all of that will entail. I'm excited to see. A huge wrestling fan. So, yeah, tell us about the Civic Restoration Rumble.
Yeah, Civic Restoration Rumble. That's hashtagable. I don't know if that's a word, but that's
it is now. Yeah.
It's Civic Restoration Rumble, and we're partnering with local luchadors, and they are just crazy enough, or brave enough, or just great-hearted enough, honestly, to go to prison voluntarily and put on a luchador wrestling match for the prisoners. And the again undercurrent, you all know, but how we're deploying that is let's give you options. Let's give you vocational options. Let's give you a whole bunch. Everything from luchadors to truck driving to HVAC to whatever else we're going to provide along the way with these cascading events is we're going to provide you a battery of different options for vocational training. We're going to tell the state, hey, we can make them this much money. And not only that, is that when they're on parole, we're going to train them before that, obviously, while they're in prison.
Right.
And then as they're paroling, continue training if necessary. But you definitely got a job. And then you're definitely going to be working. And soft landing with our other partnerships with other nonprofits in the local area that have housing available. So just the complete network. And we've done this through, well, reconnoitering, recon ops. And we've done a ton of research on it, and we can provide that streamline. But right now we'll prove it in the rudimentary way with some luchadors, hashtag Civic Restoration Rumble. And a book.
Do we get to paint our faces?
I hope so. I hope we all get the mask too. Definitely.
I got a couple hoodies.
Yes.
that,
oh my goodness.
Pay homage to that for sure. One last question, specific to your books and whatnot. Have you received any kind of feedback from readers or participants on Recon Ops itself or your books? And actually, it's a 3-pronged question. You wrote it, so I want to know what story stuck out with you that gave you the motivation to write these 2 books like you did.
Oh, 3-pronged question. I already forgot
Oh,
2.5 of them. Okay, so the book and the
feedback. Yes.
feedback. One, it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't care about feedback, because I do. It's that I just simply, the mission does not have the flexibility for me to deliver that time to some feedback. However, I do see that people will tell me, and I'll research it from there for sure if it's something necessary. Yeah. But my feedback that is really important is probably sitting here in this room. So yeah, that's, and the board of directors, and my dad for sure.
Yeah.
And shout out.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And when you were writing the books, was there any one story that has stuck with you, part of your inspiration for writing it? Like, actually, let me change the question. I got a better question. That's for both of you.
Yeah, run it.
If you had a Steve spot when you were incarcerated early on, how do you think that would have changed your journey that you experienced when you were locked up?
If I had a Steve spot, I did. I had more than one Steve spot. They were the inspiration. Again, board of directors, Ryan. Hey, buddy. He was a Steve spot. Every time for about 3 years, anytime I called, he would pick up. And he would be a huge logistical support. And just a friendly ear. And that's a Steve spot. My dad picked up every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, there's more than even colleges. Sac State, Project Rebound, they picked up. San Jose State University, Project Rebound, they picked up. So there's a ton of Steve spots.
Right on. Okay. It's kind of your way of paying it forward, right? How about you, Sharon?
I can attest to that too. He's right. There is so many inspirational individuals in the inside, and all in one melting pot. And to have someone that answers that phone for 3 years, kudos to you, Ryan. I mean, kudos. You don't have that often, so that's a great thing. Mentors come far and wide in there. And so it's important to stay connected and linked to that kind of growth, and that's what we intend to do. Is to that old motto and cliche: each one teach one. Everybody's a part of the tree, so we don't want to break no branches. We want everybody. We don't want to be rooted from that one tree, and let's just see how far and wide and large it goes.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What advice would you give someone who wants to use storytelling as a tool for social change?
Okay, first, one of the greatest Steve spot. You're sitting right here. I just have to double back on that. Again, you were the Steve spot for Returning Citizen Central News.
Hey.
Seriously. Queen's Landing
Thank you.
blows it out of the water. I thought Steve spot was like on point, but then Queen's Landing was just okay.
What a name.
Right? Like, come on. Run that.
It was strategic.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, put it in the book, please. What was the question?
What advice would you give someone who wants to use storytelling as a tool for social change? But before you answer that, thank you. I'm happy to be this version of Steve Spot, and I aspire to be that for other people as well. Okay, now you can answer.
And what storytelling as a tool, social change.
For social change. How would you feed someone's curiosity about it?
Well, public speaking. is its own version of storytelling. We've all seen TED Talks and TEDx's and things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
but behind prison walls, it's a little bit different. So you have groups that do public speaking, that aspire to be Toastmasters, that aspire to be Gavaliers, and they practice. There's really, really decent people and very smart people that practice that skill of public speaking. And I have been fortunate enough to work with public speakers in and outside that aspire to be Toastmasters. And that storytelling is, you get to hear a story you wouldn't ever hear before. And had you not been in that room, something that was just a niche in the market, had you not been in that room. And then we pushed it even further in there, and we proved to the warden, actually, with the Toastmasters aspiring group and the Gavaliers aspiring group, is hey, let's have an academic debate. And we got that privilege with a Chowchilla, the women's prison.
Yes.
And that was they were trained by State Fresno. Yeah, Fresno State. And extremely.
I was privy to that conversation. I remember when they were beginning the process.
Nice.
Yeah, we've worked with Feather River College. Shout out to Feather River College.
That's the one.
In Quincy. However, yeah, I remember that platform, and I thought, I wish I would have seen that.
I was there for all three rounds, and we got whooped, like as if we weren't even training. And I was the head trainer, so what does that say? But they were like, they would have done anybody in. Like, they were so well trained, so focused, academic debating, niche markets too. Like arguments I wouldn't have heard otherwise, and the contentions behind them were just. You can only get that intuition from a prisoner or
but
somebody.
Also you can only get it from a woman. We always got that backwash for you. We got the backwash. You bring up something, wait, I can tell you 25 ways to go around that. And I got nothing but time inside to give it to you. What?
This is what we seen, because it was immersive, right? It was a person-to-person camera. And it was on a big projection screen TV. And so we seen the argument where, here's the contention. We heard your response. Our response. Here's our contention. And we're just, ooh, this isn't good. It's like we didn't train at all. But yeah, we didn't win one, and we had 3 different rounds, but it was such an experience, and that was really cool to prove that we could use immersive technology like that in institution to institution.
Absolutely.
And that was a really cool way to.
And we got to do that again.
I was just gonna say.
We have to go back into CCWF and meet those women. Hopefully they're still that they're free, but also hopefully they're still connected to the females, because it once it's birth, it continues to grow.
Right.
So they're not going to just let it go by the wayside. So hopefully there's another team in there, and we get to go in, and we be better trained this time. Maybe RCCN will win. Maybe RCCN will win.
Yeah. Right. Maybe we can be the group that just does that.
No, totally. I thought about. I know I've talked to you about it a little bit. My experience with Toastmasters was a little bit different, but nonetheless, it was still impactful. And I myself would like to see how we can reincorporate it, whatever, feed it, redevelop it, whatever we have to bring that back up and operational and flourishing within the different facilities.
So I went through Toastmaster, and I think that my thought is I'd love to see more motivational speakers come out of there, because there is so much. When we're talking about storytelling, I worked with a group called Nocturnus. They're based in San Francisco. Did a short storytelling performance. We did it in LA. Um, and I think when we're talking about storytelling inside, again, we have nothing but stories to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the most beautiful and most moving and empowering stories come from inside, because the thing is, we don't know the other individual's background. We don't know what they came from. One of the biggest things that with a female inside a female system is don't judge me. Don't judge me. And it's hard to not do.
Right.
So the system is learning how not to judge and how to work with. When they took the CDC and added the R, that was the most awesome thing that they could have done. I want to be simple in the way that I use wording, because I want to be in the hood when I talk about this. I don't want no filter. You took a grueling system and you put rehabilitation on there. You put emphasis on education. You put emphasis on growth, healing. And in those places, we kept a warm space to do that. We sat in groups every day. We were basically mandated to go to a group.
Okay.
You must go learn something about who you are so that you can be free. And on the tip of that, on the tip of your tongue, those stories, they need to be moved. Mm-hmm. It's like you talked about water. They need to flow. And so many women and men have stories to tell, and the voice is stifled. It's muffled. And that muffled comes from, and that stifling comes from, who's going to listen? Well, that's the most powerful thing. Mm-hmm. We have the opportunity to let people tell their story. And how many people you know in this world now, that's all we want to do is we want to hear it. We want to read it. We want to be a part of it.
Right.
So that's a great thing.
I think so too. And I myself have never been incarcerated. It's not a flex or anything. There's plenty of things I probably should have been locked up for, but nonetheless.
Do you tell?
No. No.
Let it out.
No. I'm taking it with me. But
true outlaw.
But there's an audience for that. There's an audience. There's even if it just arrives from general curiosity about, like, I don't know anything about being inside. I know what I've been told. I know what I've read. I know what I've heard personally, and I think that in order for us to be able to drive change and understand that change is even needed, is to hear from everyone on the inside, and have their impact be made by sharing their stories, whatever format they want to. We want to know, what led you down this path, what's been your experience so far. What are your hopes and dreams? I know it sounds super corny, but we are voyeurists in the simplest form sometimes. But I feel like this is a way for us to keep the connection there clear, create a better understanding of what happens inside of our prison systems. Reform is an understated word. And, ma'am, thanks. You're busy. Okay. But it's reform is just a surface word for me. I like the rehabilitation, I like the restoration, because that's really what it is. And for someone who feels like they don't have a voice, RCCN ops, all the other little programs that we talk about, the things that we want to achieve as a nonprofit organization is in fact going to give those who want to be heard a voice, right?
And everybody wants to be heard.
I agree. Even everybody. If, talking out the side of your neck, whatever, talking about the weather, we want heard. We want to be heard. And there's a sense of validation as well as, what's the word I want to use? validation and I don't know, it has something to go along the lines of realization or like
Like a
sitting in.
recognition?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes.
Recognition.
Good.
That that comes with being able to share your story and people ask you questions and whatnot. This our CCN apps is definitely beyond that, but we have to start somewhere. Now, this is supposed to be the fun part.
This has all been really fun.
What's the fun part?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
It's taking
Cool.
more exciting than
Okay. I know you're an avid reader, Esteban. Miss Sharon, do you read?
like a fish, a bird. That's all I had time for. Come on. Come on now. You got it.
Okay.
You can tell you've never been to prison. Reading? You're either reading or fighting.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're not fighting. And if you decide to, don't fight me. Okay. So.
Me either, please.
Never.
I'll start with Sharon.
Come on.
Name, if you can, one book that changed your life. Not the Holy Bible.
No. You know what? And Lord, thank you for that Holy Bible. But you're not going to believe. Like, I really was around. I come from a suburban life thrust into the gang. You know, they were in there gang banging. And I like that song, I'll Be Outside with the,
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know anything about gangbanging, so I had to understand the Crips and the Bloods and where I should fit in. I read books like The Coldest Winter Ever, right?
Nice.
Very good book.
Okay.
Very good book. I read, and bless her soul, one of my friends, she passed on. She wrote love novels. And
romance novels?
yeah, romance novels, but in the hood kind, where you get the man in the end. Or you go out with the man in the end. You go out in guns and blazing. Oh, man. So I would read books like that, opposed to when normally, if I was in the streets as a young girl, I would have been reading, books that were, more in
Judy
tune
Blume?
with, yes, Judy Blume. But once I got up in there and learned how to be a little hood, those books was intriguing. I was in the library line, trying to get there before everybody. I need all the black books and the love books. What's his name? There's one book I just cannot remember this guy's name, but he wrote a novels, coolest books that I've ever read before. Donald Goings. That was them. Oh, I read them all. But yes, those were the kind of books I read, and I tried to stay. They taught me something. They taught me what to look for in personalities as well, because I didn't have that. I would take a normal little person and hang out with her, and we'd be scared together until I learned how to, do things. Just how you say strategically.
Strategically.
But those books were intriguing, and I'd come out dressed like I was hood bound and ready for the yard.
So essentially, you had your own character development when you were reading books. Yeah. Esteban, aside from your own and the Holy Bible, what's one book that changed your life?
One book that changed my life. Lord of the Flies.
I loved that book.
Tell me about that book a little bit.
Yeah, that one was like almost like a mandatory read, like in junior highs, and like, in some there was like other ones that they did, but that one wasn't one that they had a mandatory read for me, but I was always interested in it. So I think I got to read it a little bit later in life, but I read it several times after that in different chapters in my life, and that one changed over time, and it was personalities. How do people interact naturally on an isolated island as an unbiased child, and how does things organically occur by human nature?
Okay, stop.
Yep.
So the book itself is about it starts with a plane of young children, young boys, crashing on a deserted island.
No.
So you can imagine how that all develops from there.
Yes.
Okay, go.
And the community builds, and segregation happens.
The roles people assume, everything.
Answers.
Someone has to be the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cutthroat.
See, and here's the difference. Here's the difference. You guys is a different era. You got to remember, I'm an old girl. May look sexy, but I'm an old girl. Okay. I remember books like Helen Keller.
I read that book.
But I remember books like that in school.
Yeah.
Helen Keller.
And Frank.
Yes. And
well,
those books were good books, to find out why Helen Keller wrote the book and what she was going through in her life. A whole different ballgame.
Different genre, for sure. Yes. I think I'm going to buy the book for you and let you read it.
Yeah, I need to read it.
That and Animal Farm and Great Gatsby, all the books like that.
Okay.
Yeah, of Mice and Men.
One too?
Yeah, of Mice and Men and that one too.
I made the list.
So we got a few books we're gonna hand to you, old girl, so you can you can be on the up and up.
That too.
Oh yes.
At night,
yes.
I think I still use that. I still use that as a comforting tool. At night, I'll read a book, a little piece of a book, and go to sleep. And I do what you do. I listen.
Yep.
Much more helpful to lay there and be on that boat or be on that plane or be walking down the street or whatever this book is.
Envisioning yourself there, essentially. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, 2 more questions and then we're gonna wrap it up. This is for Esteban. If our CCN Ops were a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Quiet aggression.
That's the superhero's name? Oh, that's its superpower.
That's what you said. Superpower. Quiet aggression.
I just needed to clarify.
Yeah. No. Good clarification. But superhero name? Man. I'm going to have to go with a strong name and call it Victor.
Victor?
I'm going to call...
Why is Victor a strong name?
It's victorious by nature.
Good stuff.
By its name, I feel like. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Victor.
And I think that
Victor the superhero and his superpower is
to be victorious. That's the plan. That's the goal.
Quiet aggression.
Quiet aggression. All right. Got it. It'd be interesting to see what this superhero looks like. Nonetheless, I appreciate your answer anyway.
Quiet constructive aggression?
But it has to be quiet, right?
Yeah.
It's performative.
Yeah, not silent, but quiet.
And on that note, one last question, and then we'll let everyone go until next time. 3 words. Describe your books. 3 words only. Go.
Deliver potable water.
That's a sentence.
That water, we needed to live. It gave me a whole new outlook on water. Gave me a whole new outlook because I never looked at the fact that water inside was the worst. And do you remember when we started buying water because the cops wouldn't drink the water? That was the sign.
That's so deep.
That was the sign.
That was the sign.
They put the water in the front and cops would come in with big bottles. And here we are drinking the rat-infested water inside.
Ew.
And we didn't know why they weren't drinking that water. And when we figured it out, by that time, it was too late. Some of us was already sick.
So if we deliver potable water, we extinguish the disparity between those who get access to it and those who do not.
Absolutely. Make that happen.
Yeah. And then throw the spaghetti on the wall, see what sticks, and have those cascading events. For sure.
We're gonna grab
something.
It's not
For
a secret
sure.
anymore, though. It's not a secret. We
It
got this.
it
Yeah.
was never a secret.
Mm.
It's been a bargaining chip,
Okay.
but you can't bargain if you're part of the group that's considered to be the disadvantaged or marginalized. So
Now,
on that happy note, what do you guys want to talk about next episode? I was thinking about having a mini one where we get the rest of the board members on
Come
here
on now.
and hear their quote unquote story and what they're hoping to achieve through RCCN. You guys have any other ideas you want to popcorn around? We could do like a mini episode next week or something, or
absolutely. I think I keep getting stuck on that storytelling, and I think portions of who we are, aside from them, because we have some wonderful people on this team and in this organization. Troy Singo, I think I'd never say his name right.
Senegal.
I always say Singo, never say it right.
Shut up.
I work on that. Troy, this individual is on the board with me. I mean, on a panel with me. We used to go in and really speak and do presentations to the CDR cadets before they go to the prison, kind of telling them about how to humanize individuals inside the system and get away from that quote unquote everyone is the same. We are individually, again, I keep saying that we're individually made differently and we will all respond differently, but all as a whole we come together. And so that that was what we wanted them to understand. Remember that's someone's mother, grandmother, sister, cousin, it's someone that's linked to you. So the first impression is a lasting impression, and how you deal with individuals inside the system can only change if you help change it.
Right on.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's one of the things I love to see us talk about is how we can help change that system through water,
There we go. I like that.
through flowing.
You catch on fast, right? Yeah,
Slow,
for sure.
quietly, aggressively.
What about you, boss? What do you think? Possible next topics?
Oh, let's let the artists, the board of directors, the Queen's Landing, do their art. They all know the mission, water, and this is gonna flourish.
I agree. I thank you both for being a part of this third episode. It has been enlightening and fulfilling all in the same breath. I myself am excited to see what we do as a group. And this is just three of us, y'all. Wait until you meet the rest of the board. Because we're locked and loaded for sure. And with that, whether it's through the pages of Steve Spot's immersive books or the digital corridors of rccnops.org, Steve is building a movement that invites all of us to participate, reflect, and restore. If today's conversation sparked something in you, we encourage you to explore his work, get involved, and share this episode with someone who's inside, someone who's outside. We all need to hear it, though. As always, thank you for tuning in to Returning Citizen Central News. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social media for more conversations that matter. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep telling your story.
Steve Spot is a reflection of everyone else. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Good vibes only, yeah.
Vibes. Oh, that's cool.